Can I talk about why Miura depicts Guts as a dog? Also going into why the Beast of Darkness is portrayed as like a mad hound. Sure, I can talk about that. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video, and it will also just contain general spoilers for Berserk, so just keep that in mind. If we are going to start and speak in general terms, usually people associate dogs with being extremely loyal, dedicated, but also sometimes solitary. The whole lone wolf trope also comes to mind with this. Guts himself always kind of saw himself, especially during the Golden Age, as just kind of like a wandering person. He was never really dedicated and never really stuck with anything, and that obviously changed as he met the Band of the Hawk and, became friends with them and learned that he had a place in the world, especially with Casca and all of that kind of stuff. Speaking in terms of things outside of that, there is a lot of references to Nordic mythology as well as a whole bunch of other mythology in Berserk, and you really cannot talk about this without talking about Tyr and Fenrir. The Beast of Darkness itself has very heavy ties to Fenrir and the entire story of the binding of Fenrir. Just to very vaguely go over this, Loki had 3 offspring. One of those offspring was Fenrir. The gods in Asgard saw Fenrir as a threat, straight up. He was just too dangerous. And the only one that was even brave enough to feed Fenrir was Tyr. The gods were so scared of him that they bound him in chains. Which is why this panel looks so fucking cool and it's very familiar. Fenrir bound in chains, huh? In the mythos, Fenrir cannot be contained and breaks every single fucking chain, and the gods try and trick Fenrir by basically making a crazy chain, which is called Gleipnir. Fenrir was like, something's fucking up, and I don't trust any of you motherfuckers. The only way that I'll let you chain me up with this goddamn thing is if somebody puts their goddamn hand in my mouth. The only one who ever stepped up to do that, because all the other gods were literal cowards, was Tyr. And of course, when Fenrir figured out that they were tricking him, he bit off Tyr's hand. Tyr did this to basically spare everyone. He was brave enough and was dedicated enough to like, you know what? Sure, I'll do it. This is why you should really, really, really read up on Norse mythology if you want to understand Berserk in a deeper level, because who does that fucking sound like? That sounds a lot like Guts. That sounds a lot like Guts, sacrificing his own hand in order to save humanity. Does that have implications for the ending of Berserk? Who knows? Very curious, isn't it? There is another part of this as well, where in Casca's dream, Guts is depicted as a Doberman. Miura very specifically chose a Doberman because the first thing you think of as a Doberman is extremely loyal and fearless. Dobermans are also incredibly intelligent for dogs. So it would make sense that this is what Casca thinks of as Guts, as he tirelessly, and even with one paw missing, drags her coffin around in her own dreamscape. Guts' journey starts out as him being a lone wolf. Loyal to no one, dedicated to nothing, someone who endlessly wanders aimlessly. Eventually, finding his pack, which are the Band of the Hawk, he becomes loyal. Finding his love with Casca, that loyalty and that love is ultimately betrayed, and this loyal hound has to go back to being this lone wolf, now turned bitter and angry and full of hatred. This manifests in the Beast of Darkness, which is a representation and a reference to Fenrir and how Fenrir could easily destroy the world. But Guts, being this incredibly loyal, strong, and brave person, keeps the Beast of Darkness chained and at bay. So Guts, being depicted as a dog and being very heavily associated with hounds and dogs and things like that and wolves, is perfect like visual storytelling and has so many references and just cool little details to it that are really great.